All right, so I'm standing about 6 to 7 feet away from the vehicle right now, and what I'll do is I'll just I'm going to run some paint meter readings so we can see what's underneath that paint if we're picking up on any bondo. Also, I'll touch on some of the panel issue fits that I'd seen as well. So let's start off with the front end. I've already kind of tapped on the bumper a little bit here, and I just kind of checked for anything that might be loose. So everything seems to be intact, right? So nothing rattling loose here. Just on the front bumper rubber here, it's just creased in there. So I know we have to be mindful of everything because everything is like really expensive to replace. Looking at the hood, right? I couldn't close it properly. I already tried a little bit forcing it, and I got Adam's permission first because I didn't want to try to close it and then not open again because I'm not sure if the latches were working. So he said it should unlock. So with his blessing, I tried. One, you can already see where the lock tab is kind of like sticking way out. You can see where it's hitting there. And then you can see where the hood is actually shifted to the left here. I've already tried. So I couldn't latch this side here, but when I go to the right side, and then when I shift the panel over there, I'm able to lock down that side. And then if I try coming back here, it doesn't close. So that's probably about the extent of it right there as far as closing. So I was never able to completely close it. So yeah, so it's tough to say if the panel itself is tweaked or what have you, but I know that's going to be something worth considering. Looking at the let's get some paint meter readings here. All right, okay, this paint meter here, it reads in the thousandths of an inch. Okay, we're starting off with 15, 9, 11, and 9.5. The readings are going to be slightly off where we're talking about a hair because the car is so dusty, so it's actually reading through that as well. Left bumper 4, 11, 12. So yeah, definitely signs of repaint, right? 12 and a half and 9. Here, looking at the left front wheel, I always like to run the camera here really quick and just kind of take a look at the wheel well. Even though I'll be looking at the car when it's up on the lift, I always like to try to get as many angles as possible because if I miss something on the first pass, chances are on the second look, I may pick up on it, but better safe than sorry. So I don't mind doing putting in the extra effort. Also like to look at the panels going downwards and then working our way up. What I'm checking for there is any waviness, dents or dings. Here we can see where the panels are slightly off. It looks like they try to work it and maybe some filler there somewhere. And when I'm back at my desk, I'm going to take a better note of the door panel because what I'm checking for now is just overall structural soundness. Looking at the cowl area, it looks like it appears to be some blistering here, right? The glass, no obvious signs of any chips or cracks, but maybe some, see, I don't know what that is right there. I don't know if it's gunk or if the glass is scratched. Okay, here I've already got the VIN tag and I got a still photo of that. And I like to look at the dash while I'm at this angle. I'll be looking at it from here, the outside and the inside. Moving on. Looking at the roof, so it's got this material, right? So it's kind of tough to say what's going on underneath there. So what the only thing I can do, obviously I can't do paint measurements because it won't read through the material. But what I'm doing here is I'm checking for like a crunchy sound. So if there's any rust per se, right? I would hear it here, kind of like breaking apart, right? So, I mean, it sounds solid, but I'm not saying that it doesn't have no rust. That's just, it does sound solid. Here, the metal is exposed and just a little bit of glue, so I am able to get a reading. So that's the best I can do there. Let's see, door panel, again, worked here. Looks like body filler there. 12, 13, 19.5, 13, right? See the bright work or chrome looks decent. Here on the belt line seals, you can see where they're cracked. That's going to be needing replacement here. Looking at the glass, the edge is blemished, but as far as what's exposed right now, I don't see any scratches or delamination. I was told that there's no electrical function, so I won't be able to test any of the electronics. There's some more blistering here, and then this mirror is all gunked up as well. Okay, quarter panel readings, 14 and a half, 19 points. Okay, that's that high reading again, so there's probably body filler down there. 10.5, 12, 10. Okay, definitely signs of respray, and the filler use doesn't seem too crazy, where it just seems to be in spotted areas. From what I can see right here, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up on it, but the paint, I can see shrinkage and prep issues there. So, yeah, depending on, how you take this thing, I mean, reconsider a repaint, depending on what level you want to take it at. Again, just looking at the right rear wheel well area, okay, there, okay. And then let's do a side view again, just working our way down and working up. Unfortunately, I can't see the screen all that well on my end because of the glare. Okay, looking at the bumper chrome, it's gonna need attention as well. Okay, there the lenses look like to be in decent shape, except the reverse light here. It's got little micro scratches in there. Chrome here looks decent. Here a little better. Rear bumper, just a little blemish there and some scuffing in there. Looking at the trunk, so it looks like it's kicked out a little bit here, right here, and then here on the right side. But then again, when I look here near the back panel, it looks like the gap is widened there. So once I open that up, I'll see what's going on. Rear window looks like it's intact. See some of the defroster lines where something's going on here. And okay, continue on with the video. One of the porters had a quick question for me. Okay, here looking at the right. Oh, you know what? I think I left off on the trunk area. So we can see where there's a significant size gap here, and then we can see where it's kind of pushed out there. Also, I didn't mention that I couldn't open up the gas filler door on this side here. On the right side, it's already propped open. You can see where it's rusted and corrosion in there, so this thing's probably been exposed to the elements for a really long time. So I think it's safe to say that the tank would have to come out and get worked again. I don't know. Remember if I pointed out the rubber seals here, and then again the material here. You can see where it's torn. And let me do that little bump test here real quick. See if I hear any cracking. Okay, this is a calibrated tool too, so hopefully I'm not doing any damage there. All right, so moving on. Quarter panel, 7. 8.5, 7, 10. Right rear wheel well area. All right, moving on. Beltline scrapers, yeah, definitely worn and weathered. Window here, from what I can see, the portion that's exposed, I don't see any damage done to it. Again, there's a light coating of dust, so that'll affect what I can see. It looks like the seals are pretty dried there. View there. Here, windshield. See, it's amazing what dirt does. I didn't even see this on my first pass, but the windshield is cracked. You can see where it runs all the way down to the base, here to the side pillar. Okay. So we know the glass needs to be replaced. Another view of the dash here from this angle, and then looking at the windshield pillar as well, you can see where there's actual metal rot right there. So that would need metal fabrication and reworking there. Just some blistering here, but nothing as significant as there. All right, I won't even get into the paint blemishes anymore. I think you already have a good idea of its condition. 10.5, 7, 7.5. Let's get that wheel well. All right, and then let's just do one final look. I'll go ahead and step back and a little upper view. Moving on. I'm gonna run a quick video of the undercarriage. When I looked at the top end interior, I didn't think it was all that bad. If this is gonna be a project car, or is it be completely restored? But here, when I started looking at the underside, there was a lot going on. Where one, there's obvious signs of rust and metal rot, but then there's also liberal use of undercoating, and it looks like there's patchwork as well. So we don't know how much rust or metal rot is being masked. So here, looking at the just behind the front bumper here, you can see where pretty heavy rust, metal rot, scaling. You can see where it's just completely torn apart here as well. So we all know that this would have to be replaced. There's no metal fabrication here. There's no repairing it. You'd have to start off with a good donor. Here you can see some more patchwork and then some more rust here. More rust. You know, if I start poking away at the stuff, it starts falling apart. No major issues here. Don't see any signs of like any front impact damage, which is kind of good. Here, just a view of the underside, the engine, oil grimy. I don't know when's the last time this thing ran, but moving on here. Okay, looking at the right side here, just surface rust here. But you can see where there's more patchwork going on here, and the undercoating is really thick. Here, there's a hole. My finger's going, I can touch the carpeting right now. And then we don't know how bad it is because you can see just how thick the undercoating is here. Spend a little bit more time here. So another view here, right? Okay. Then here on the left side, here you can see where it's just coming apart now, right here where the jack pad is at. Okay, the surface rust here. And moving on. Okay, here on the sides, right? Looks like, you know, some more patchwork here. You can just see how it's just been worked. And then you start seeing some exposed material here. Then that's where the rust is becoming more obvious. Okay, another view of the transmission. Okay, we saw that already. Moving further back. Yep, you know, you can see smoothness here and inconsistencies where more patchwork. And then again, you know, if I can pick at that all day long. Probably get worse. Okay. More rust back here. And then here you can really tell where there's a lot of, where it's been really worked. And then that rubberized compound and undercoating have been applied. Okay. Same here on the right side. Okay. And then you can just see it here along the rocker. Just the rust there, popping up everywhere. Okay. Went here to the back. Just this is torn here. Surface rust back here. That's no big deal. Rubber here is torn, damaged. Okay. Surface rust here. More crunchiness right there. So that's metal rot. Okay. And I thought I saw some more here somewhere. Oh, and then it looks like the fuel tank has been pushed in. So this being flush, I think you can see where it's pushed in. So go like this and then back out again. All right, that's where we're at.